Here we are. Here we are.
But I had black and yellow on at some point this week. I know my shirt was for the moon. It was the full moon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this week's been crazy. I can't even remember when we talked, what we talked about. Like I'm dealing with some
Oh, well, let
super.
me remind you because we're gonna have to remind everybody.
Oh,
So you know how the world works and the universe, and when you start channeling all of your little spidey senses and everything starts coming in, other things that you don't want come in. And we recorded an hour and 45 minute
oh, I didn't know it was that long. Jesus.
hour and 45 minutes, y'all. This is a true confession. Well, it's not even a confession, it's what happened. So we decided to do a new way of doing this and do screen recording, right? From Facebook or FaceTime. And I was like, oh, let me try it out. So I get it all set up. I'm all excited. It even recorded me going like switching screens and going to call you and all the stuff. As soon as your ass shows up, no sound. Zero sound. I was like, okay, maybe it was just a glitch. Because I know at first you and I were like, oh, your signal's not that great, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, maybe it was just that. I fast forward like 30 minutes in, zero audio. I'm like, son of a bee. So I was like, all right, well, here we go. But you know what it was? It was such a good call for you and me,
It
which
was.
bums me out that it didn't get recorded, but I do not forget that call. So I am very excited to be recording with you today with full audio and video. I am recording from my phone, but via Zoom. I
It
just,
says record.
I know, and it did tell us it was recording, and I've never had an audio, knock on wood, problem. So here we are. Here we are. And what
With
I'd
the
like,
Venus retrograde and all the eclipse and the blah, blah, blah,
exactly.
doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, and we even joked about the shit. And that's why I was like, we even joked about it. And I was like, so that I wasn't even mad. I just started laughing. I just literally was like, oh, hour and 45-minute video. This is going to be badass. And we can have some clips and blah, blah, blah. Nothing. I was like, I should just do a joke and like just post it anyway. And we see what comments we get for our stupid asses. We're not stupid. It's like I just want to see what will happen. So I might even just do like just post it up there and see what happens. Like, oh, you guys, because we both looked beautiful. We were laughing. We looked like we were having the best of times, which we were.
We
So
were, but it's like it's weird, but it's not weird at the same
it's
time.
funny.
Like
Yeah.
expected. Like, yep,
Well,
that's
and
it.
even your response to me, I was like, so, and you were like, haha, of course. Of course.
Yeah, I was just not surprised in the slightest that that happened. So
Well, one of the things that we did do during that call, and we can, or during that session, and we can just recap. It was so funny because we did do some pulls. We did some oracle cards. You pulled a couple oracle cards. I pulled a couple oracle cards, and I pulled a tarot card.
yeah,
And I kid you not, our to the collective, like they were all cards, pretty much. Like one of them was a repeat. Persephone, she came back
yeah,
up. She
yeah.
was like, "Oh, you thought I was gone? No, guess what? She flew out of the deck at me." And I was like, "Okay."
I was reading something the other day. She's also like the goddess of like endings or
Yeah,
phase changes or something. So
100%.
she came up the other day again, like just
I
in some
love it.
watching, and I was like, there she is, and yeah,
Yep. And then we had the Red Queen, and
yeah.
this is a little book, so I'll just look at it real quick because this I liked her. I like all of them really, honestly. But
That
you
deck
know,
is so beautiful. Yeah,
it is really beautiful. And I love that. Well, so Red Queen, keywords are caution and ambition. The Red Queen solemnly crosses the threshold towards her chosen destination. She has checked her strengths, weaknesses, and personal initiative. Um, Thoroughly and believes that she has the inner resources to move forward. She calls a time in the past when she has set herself a goal but fell short. She was not aware of the level of responsibility and persistence of the challenge would require. Now her inner capabilities are fully developed and she cautiously moves forward. Drawing this card advises you that solid achievements are now possible, but but exercise self-care and assess your own needs and abilities along your path towards success. And that's exactly what we've been talking about, is really honing in on you. Because again, like, if your cup is empty, just because your cup is full for yourself, it's not that we use, it's the overflow of the cup. So, and you had mentioned that as well. So I just felt like, we needed to hit that back. And then again, the Six of Cups, and this is all about positive. We're getting there, we're doing it. And so it was really good. I loved it. But even if we can just bring this, 10 minutes of joy to them from that call, and then just post it, because it was funny. So that's my little hi to everyone. What's your hi? What do you got going on?
Well, some things that I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Um, just heavy energies. I've been very exhausted this week, like extremely exhausted. Um, Trying to really sleep when I can and get sleep, because at these types of times too, that I've noticed in cycles and phases of past, uh,
Mhm.
when this type of stuff happens in this time of the year also, um I do a lot of lucid dreaming, and I'm also traveling a lot in my dreams. I'm always fucking exhausted in the daytime.
That is so crazy, because I've been having the same shit. Like, it's weird. Like, I wake up and I need a nap.
Yeah.
Like, and I take a nap.
So
Like,
it is that, or like an hour later, or yeah, it'll be quick to where I'm like, oh, I got rest, I feel good, and then I'll be up for 45 minutes, and I'm like, bro, like, is it nighttime again? And so I'm trying to, if I can, take the time to go lay down when that happens. Or like the other night, I came straight home from work, and my fucking appetite's been like ravenous too. I've been like wanting to eat everything everywhere. And usually it's not like that. Usually my appetite's, it's all right. Like hungry, good, get my protein. All right, move on. Like no big deal. Nah, bro. I've been eating fucking everything and like feeling like my energy is needing to use that up. You know what I mean? Like it's like I couldn't
right.
get enough almost. Today it's been better. But
Yeah.
so Friday, I believe, I got home from work around 5:30 maybe, took care of me. Um bro, and I ate because I was starving, felt like I was starving, and I laid down. It was like 6 p.m., bro, and I was in bed till the next morning. Like I
Yeah.
was fucking exhausted. I laid on the couch, like I couldn't, like I just passed out. Just, you know what I mean? I didn't even get ready for bed. I was just gone. And so that, which my Sundays I'll usually have my nap after I play soccer anyway, but
Hmm.
just feeling same. And you know, but I know I'm going through some grieving right now, and my decision that I've had to make is not been easy, of course, but I've also been triple guessing it and trying to find any reason that I'm wrong. But I know it's time, so oh please. So I've been really just sitting, trying to spend time with Bub and
Yeah.
allow myself to be sad, and but also to look at the bright side of things.
Yeah.
Also, but
It's a transitional time, and honestly, like, the couple of people that I, you know, have pop up in my feed, I don't even like really go to their page. They pop up, and I know those messages are for me, and it's like, it's been around, like, stuff like this. Like, there's the ending to some things. Excuse me. There's an ending to things, but then there's also the beginning to everything, and it's just a hard time. And like you said, like, being tired and drained, that's honestly the way we should be feeling right now because of the shift and everything. So I've seen a lot of like, if you're feeling tired, if you're, like, take the break. And I've been took a nap yesterday, took a nap this morning. I got up, I was tired, and I was like, I'm going back to sleep, and I did for like 2 hours. Like it,
Yeah.
but that's what we need right now. So do it, take it,
I feel I feel like I'm catching up on sleep and rest from other lifetimes is what it feels like.
1,000,000%. Like 1,000,000%. I feel like yes, it's so
It's like I
weird.
forgot to rest in all the lifetimes, and finally
But
this is
now's the
now
time.
time. This is
Hmm.
time, bro. And that's it.
But that's because we've done the work to get to that point to where it's now, we are regenerating for what's to come.
Right.
So, and we have a lot
Um,
of healing to do, is what I'm being told. We have a lot of healing to do. We have a lot of energy to work to do. We have a lot of hands-on healing to do. And so I'm just embracing that and like, let's go, you know.
well, and what I was thinking, I don't remember if I've touched on this before, but um, when we talk about our this 9 year cycle since
Yeah,
2016 and
totally. It's
all of that.
true. Yeah,
Well, guess who joined my life in 2016?
exactly. I know. I know. I know. And it's crazy because I think that's just about the same time that Tyrone joined our family. I think it's like right around there because he's been with us for a long time. And I was looking at him yesterday because of, our conversations and stuff. And I was like, let me see your mouth, old man. And he has like 4 teeth that need to be pulled. He has like, I was like, all right, and he's getting up there too. And he's getting grouchy though. Like he snapped at me the other day and I was like, boy, I'm the wrong one to snap at.
Yeah, yeah. He started that when we moved to Florida.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
but it scares me because we have other, like, he snaps at the cat and the cat's not doing it, like, not even around him, and he'll go out of his way to do it, and it's just like that grouchy jerk mode.
the old man.
And yeah, and it's like, okay, we could put up with being grouchy, but like you're targeting people and animals, and like, don't do that, dude. Your time will be very short here. But yeah, I love them to death though. So like this morning I was just rubbing them up and brushing them and stuff like that because life's been hard for them too. They've had to deal with our emotions. They've had to deal with our roller
Yeah,
coasters. They
yeah.
they are there to heal us and to serve us and to help us. And I think we forget sometimes of, not you, well, I do sometimes, not you. I know that Bubby is like your number one, but like I get caught up with shit sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't loved on you in a day or two, and like, get over here and stuff like that. So I've been putting a lot of energy into that too and spending time
I'm
with them
sure I do the same sometimes. It just gets caught up in the
in the hustle and bustle.
time.
Yeah.
It's a little different for us now because I'm not able to cuddle with him like I used to, just
So
because
it's a little bit more distant. Yeah.
yeah. So I make it a point, I get on the floor with him, or I'll in the morning, any type of cuddling I can do, I try to. Because we
Yeah.
still have, like, I laid with him on the floor the other night, and I don't let him get, like, he used to sleep in the bed and on the couch, and, like, he doesn't, because I don't want him to jump on anything. He can't really
Well,
jump.
well, that's the main thing. Yeah. Because if he was
Yeah.
fine, you would be like, whatever, but yeah, he
Right.
didn't want him to hurt himself.
Right. So I'll get down with him, and even took my blanket down the other morning because he was just crying, and so
Aw.
I wanted to lay with him, and he's been, he lays his head on my lap, and whatever I can do, and the treats and the pup cups and then I put his little muzzle on and I clean his eyes and clean his ears, and he just puts his head and just stares at
Aw.
kiss his little forehead, and
Yeah,
oh,
I do the little pet massages. They like lay across my lap and I'll just sit there and massage them and they fucking love that shit. They're like, ugh. And it's therapeutic to me too because my ADHD is always going wild and it's hard for me to sit down. And
yeah,
so to have something, for stimulation in that manner, like I need fidget spinners, I need putty, like even doing this, like you'll notice I touch my face a lot and move my hair and like I'm very fidgety. So if I have a pet in my lap, just a pet, it's therapeutic for me too, and it gets me to chill and it syncs up your heart rates and all of those things. So I love doing that kind of stuff. It's nice.
yeah,
And
So
you
yeah,
gotta, yeah, you gotta give them back what they give you, in that love and all of that
which I
stuff too.
never, but oh baby, I know
Yeah.
my handsome boy. I think he's probably gotta go pee.
Here. Oh, you want to say hi to everybody? This is Kiwi.
Hi, Kiwi.
Oh, Kiwi. She's like, I'm not looking into the camera, Mom. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Hmm. Let me.
Hair almost matches
Oh my
color.
God. Like all of my animals are like this cream color. It's so weird how we have one tuxedo kitty, and my cat when I was a kid was a tuxedo kitty, but like this whole line of pets right now is this sable or she's so warm, she just came out of the sun, or like this strawberry blonde, like goodness. She's my little fox. Her little ears. She's like, I thought she was a fox, a stuffed animal when I first met her. She was at my friend's house and she was doing my hair, and I saw this cute red fox curled up on the couch, and it looked like a curled up stuffed animal. And I was like, oh my God, that is the cutest little stuffed animal. And then its eyes opened and I was like, is that real? Huh. And then guess what? You ended up coming home with me because they couldn't handle your barking, but you're my dog. All right, get out here. See you later. So yeah, oh my God. I was like Bugs Bunny with the heart eyes, do 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 do, like or Pepe Le Pew when he sees Pussyfoot. Like, yeah, like I was oh my God. I was like, what is this? And then
That's
it just so happened that I took her with me a couple weeks later to train her. And then they were like, can you just keep her? I was like, absolutely. She's my little security guard. She's my protection, and Badu is my guardian, and Tyrone is my accountability. Um, for life.
that's great. Like that.
He keeps me honest and not suicide, not like that. Murderous.
Yeah, Bub's always been my protector and really good. I gotta take him out real fast, but
Yeah, you're good. Yeah,
uh
no, I've noticed that Badu definitely helps me center. Like she'll sit in my lap and like the purr and and everything just gets centered, and she's like my little energy guardian. Kiwi's always on the patrol.
oh.
Hi, Bubs.
Human potty, my love.
He's like, yeah, my tail is a wagon.
Oh, my sweet. Come kiss. Oh my goodness. Okay. Come on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh.
All right.
Oh, oh. I know. I know. Be careful. Baby. I'm calling my little tap dancer.
I know, right? The clickety clack of the nails on the floor.
Get ready to storm here. I love it.
Ooh, we
But
talked about this last time when there was no audio. I
when
miss Florida
rains.
storms.
Yep. Get in the yard, baby. There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been windy. It was supposed to rain already, but it hadn't. And it's just been beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, it's just perfect out here. All right, it's Sunday. What am I checking the mail for? I
I don't
think it's
know.
been off.
Yeah, it's super. It was rainy yesterday or the day before, and yeah, the day before, and it's now dried up pretty much. The dogs are laying in the dirt again, but it's just so sunny and feels good. So that's why I was like, I did my call with dumpster diving with Janice this morning from out here.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to walk around or do you want to go in? So to make another appointment or dumpster diving?
Oh no, to make another episode. We recorded an episode this
Oh,
morning.
oh, oh,
Yeah, we recorded an episode this morning, and then I had us scheduled for this afternoon. So
oh. Awesome.
yeah, and
I
then
know.
I'm doing a recording a day, friend. I
Yeah.
missed I missed a
Once
day
I,
or so, but I'm doing it.
yeah, once I get through this grief and get back from my next trip,
Yeah, we can start doing stuff like that. Yeah, for sure,
it'll be a
together.
different.
Well,
Well,
I'm
I got
doing
my page too, just to catch
yeah,
up on my shit, and then we can have our normal. We've been doing pretty good though.
we've been
I've
doing
been
good,
doing
and
better with you than myself.
Well, what I did notice is
Get some
so on
water.
my personal Moxy Coach page or channel, I've been just posting things like the pets. I've just been posting videos of my pets and stuff like that, like little shorts, 14 seconds long, and some other things. Those are getting more views
Yeah.
than anything, and I love it. But
Yeah.
and and there's one that's people have commented on, and we were talking about our pets. But like, I love that we can post different stuff and get that, that exposure, because I love connecting with people about pets and different stuff too. So it's my coaching page, but we connected on pets. So I love that. And so I just started going through my phone and finding all the little cute videos that I have, and I'm just posting a couple a day, and just seeing what happens, because the more we do little stuff like that, that organic stuff is obviously we're more authentic. And then, but two is it keeps putting our signal out there for the collective. So
Right.
yeah.
I did an art trade with my art teacher,
I
and
saw that. I loved that.
those on my shorts on the video too, just to. But that was a lot of fun. So
That is so cool. I it reminded me instantly of the couples that are doing portraits of each other, and they turn out like crazy. Like, typically the girls is like a lot better than the guys, and but it reminded me of that. But both of your paintings were like beautiful. But I was like, oh my God, if Lindsay and I did that together, it'd be like, she would do a great one of me, and mine would be like, all right. So
and that'd be interesting.
it would be fun. It would be fun. Because we could totally do an episode like that, and just talk and do like a painting night or whatever. And then we could it would be fun live too.
Yeah.
So that would be a fun live, actually.
Yeah, if we could hear it, that'd be great.
Oh my God, stop.
It would just be the paint.
Stop it. Well, I think what we need to do is just log into our Zoom, but we could talk about that. I digress. We could talk about that later. Our people don't want to hear about the behind the scenes, how the sausage is made.
Oh,
Have you never heard that before? You don't want to know how the sausage is made, or you don't want to see the sausage being made? Yeah.
that's true.
It is true. So that's why I'm going to digress, and we're going to talk about other things. So during this time, so I have a question for you. During this time of processing and grief, and you're going through the stuff, how are you staying afloat to be able to still work and stuff like that and do the things that you're doing? Like, what are you practicing right now to help you with that?
Well, I guess I need to touch on to. I'm gonna cry again. I've not said it because it's hard to say. And people have no idea what I'm talking about. It's come time for me to let Bubby go.
Oh,
So it's been a big, hard decision for me. Um, his quality of life just isn't there anymore. So I do feel that he's here for me right now, and that's what I don't want. Um, so I've had to make the appointment and all of that. It's not been easy, but part of it has been me making sure that I focus on, hello, he's still here, so I'm enjoying him.
of course, yeah.
And so that's been part of it. And just staying present, even if I'm at work. I'm, as always, still excited to get home to him and hear his little click clack and see his little tail and his little tongue stick out when he's sleeping. And um, so part of it's that, um, and part of it's been, again, perspective. It's not the whole time I've been breaking down a lot, but at work to try not to break down too, either to shift my focus on being present at work and not thinking about anything outside for the moment. Um, Part of it too is I've been through pretty hard things while working quite a few times, so I've learned how to kind of shut off in a way that way. And then the other part has been the relief that I know he will feel because he won't be in pain anymore.
Yeah.
So that's really what I've been trying to focus on. But of course, the low vibes try to sneak in there too of, you know, shame or you're doing it too soon or
Right. You're hurting him or whatever. And yeah.
yeah, whatever. And it's like I've been repeatedly asking my angels to show me confirmation that I'm doing the right thing,
Right.
and I feel they have been. And plus how he's, like you can tell he's like struggling, like he wants to follow me to the other rooms and he just like, you know,
Yeah.
trying to tell him like, bub, don't like just stay in your bed, babe, and I'm
And
trying to
that's so against the grain of what they know, so it's like, it's so hard. Yeah. I get that.
and so just yeah, all the pup cups and treats and anything I can do and just which I'd be at home anyway, but just being here and I didn't want to put him through the last trip of me being gone because I know that's
Yeah.
want to do that and then no, we just spend our time and plus the 9 year thing and Bub's around 14 give or take, he might be older, but I've had him for the 9 or so years, so
Right.
I know the reason he came into my life at that time was to help me deal with what I was going through at that time, the end of an abusive relationship. And he's been quite the lighthouse, as I've been seeing lighthouses for the past few days also.
Mm-hmm.
He's been quite the lighthouse for me. And like I said, he's protected me in dreams where I've been attacked by evil energies. I know that they're not just a dream. Like you can tell the difference if you've had both. Um, but he's done that quite a few times and just been it's my dude.
Yeah.
But I got to do this for him.
Yeah.
I
Well, I know your pup prior to him will be there waiting, wagging its tail and just waiting for him to
my
get there.
boy Belle is there. My
Yeah.
cat.
There's going to be you're going to have a whole pack of dogs to go home to, like I love that part. He's still going to be alive. You are going to see him in that house. I know you are. You're going to hear him. You're going to hear his nails. You're going to,
Yeah,
all of those things. He's not leaving. He's just going to be out of that body,
yeah,
and that's what I do know.
gonna feel better.
Yeah. You'll hear him moving on his own. That's
And
what I'm excited about because I
he's
know that's going to happen.
going around, freaking me out.
Yep. Exactly. Scaring you. What was that?
Fucking
My,
tent just eerily rolling. I fucking
right. Oh my gosh. His
uh,
leash lifts and it's floating across the room. Now, I actually had a cat that oh, I'm sorry, I'll let you finish. Is like because I have a crazy story about a cat that I had, but
oh, that was pretty much it.
oh, okay.
Just
Well, I'm proud of you. Well, let me end with this. Like, thank you for sharing, because I know that was hard, and that's not really what my intention was when I asked you that. So I'm sorry. And I accidentally hit mute. I hit mute because there was a plane, and then it wouldn't unmute for me to tell you you don't have to. And then you just started rolling into it, and I was like, damn.
that, that means I was supposed to because I'm
I
not.
I think so. I think so. Honestly, I think so, and that's why I just kind of rolled with it. But I'm proud of you because we've known each other a very long time, and this is not the first time that we've talked about this moment in our lives and stuff like that. And so, but I'm I'm very thankful that you were my friend and my soul, part of my soul tribe and stuff like that. But I'm really proud of you, and I know that with that transition and stuff like that, it's just gonna it's you're gonna see everything else that's coming with it, and that's just part of the journey. It's not a loss. It's just that his physical departure, but his spiritual depart. There's no spiritual departure. I already fucking know. So I'm very proud of you, and you know, so,
A lot. Thank you.
yeah. Um, I had I had a cat given to me like this. She was my little spirit animal. We were destined to be together. We knew my mom used to let me hang out with this lady that had a bunch of cats, and she would board cats and stuff like that, but she was a cat hoarder, right? And I was 11, and this, I think she was in her late 30s, and her husband, they had rented a horse ranch. We used some of the property to have sheep and stuff because we were in 4-H and everything else. But we became friends. I didn't have a lot of friends, and I always got along with adults better than I did with kids my own age.
Same.
Here we go. There were signs.
Yeah.
So but I would, and we were like best friends, right? And she just had a young spirit, nothing like my mother. I think she was like the same age as my mom, and she was like the polar opposite of my mom. She was always happy, and so I loved hanging out with her. But she would take me on these adventures, right? We would go do cat shows, right? So she would take her domestic cats, her house cats, and bring them to the cat shows. They were just the mixed up cats, but then you got to see all the other cats and they got to network and stuff. And it was just such a cool experience where um, I got into it, right? And so at her house, she had like 40 cats in this trailer, and it had like a attached cattery or whatever. And every time I went into her house, this one cat would like Velcro on me. And this little tuxedo kitty, and her name is Bones. And she was like, she noticed like every time this cat would come to me, and she was like, I need you to take that cat home. And I was like, what? She goes, that's your cat. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't know if my mom will let me have a cat. And she was like, that's your cat. She goes, that cat hates all other cats. And the only time that cat comes out is when you're here. She goes, she doesn't even come out for me or anybody else. The only time she comes out is when you're here. And she gets right on top of you. She goes, you need to take that cat home. So, I already had some animals that I took care of, and I always took care of my animals. So my mom was just like, whatever, it's just another, whatever. I had this cat from the time I was 9, or no, 11, until I was 20 something. Like this cat she was with us a long time. She was 8 when we got her, and we had her for like,
Bro.
yeah, she was 8 when I got her, and she was like, I think 20. No. Yeah, she was like 20 when she passed.
Yeah.
And she was an indoor outdoor cat. You could never keep her inside, and she was a mouser. She would get mice. But whatever. So when I moved out, I was still in my teens, and there was a lot of stuff going on. I was a teen mom. I was trying to take care of my family. There was a lot of distortion within my household and stuff like that. So my mom kept stuff from me. You can't take your cat. That was my motherfucking cat. So I had to leave Bones there. And after a couple of years, like we got to communicating again and stuff like that. And Bones was still alive. And I'm like, Bones, dude, like you were hanging it. But
Yeah.
she would hear me. She knew whenever I was there, she would come running out of the neighborhood, off the roof, wherever she was, and she would hear me and she would come up, be like, what's up, Mom? So I don't know how much time passes. And I come to the house and I was like, where's Bones? Like the last 2 times I came, she hasn't come around. And my mom was like, oh, um, yeah, she died. She died, and your dad buried her in the backyard. And I was like, oh. I'm like, well, that sucks. I mean, she was super old. I'm like, okay, like she was old, right? And then like a couple months go by, and my mom goes, so remember when I told you how Bones died? That she just died? And I was like, yeah. She goes, well, that's not really the truth. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, the neighbor's friend came over to visit, saw Bones on the sidewalk, thought she was just an old stray, picked her up, took her to the vet, and had her euthanized. Like, say what? And I go, why didn't you tell me that the first time? And she was like, I didn't want you to kill them. I go, to somebody who doesn't know Bones, I could totally see them doing it, because she was a bag of bones at that point. Like she was like, had one scraggle tooth, and she was just like, but she was still doing all the things that she did. She just looked rough, right? So, but like that's what they told me. But this cat
Oh, baby.
did never left that house. Her spirit was there. Every time I was there, I would then start seeing her. Like she would like be sitting at the door, and I would open the door, and then all of a sudden this cat would come running in, or be sitting in the window. And so she never left. So I know, like when you have a connection like that, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I've seen even, dude, and cats are otherworldly anyway. Well, animals in general. I swear he fucking levitates to the. I swear he just appears sometimes. Like I won't hear his nails.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll be in the shower and he likes to guard the door and be with.
Yeah.
I won't hear shit, and I'll look and his fucking head will be right. I'm like, get there.
Right.
Like, and cats are just otherworldly anyway, and they're guardians, against evil spirits and things like that. So,
Mhm.
seen even like security video of them, like, and there's some out there, but of them like morphing or like just
Yeah,
appearing and shit like that, and reappearing somewhere. Like, you're like,
it's crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy. Well, I think that I told Jenny, my youngest daughter, so she has the brother to my cat. And the other day, I went in to go check on him because she's in her room and I didn't see him anywhere. Anywhere. And I was like, the fuck? And I'm looking everywhere in this room for him, lifting like he was nowhere. So I back out of the room and I closed the door and I was like, all right, either the cat got out and he's out wandering around the town right now, the neighborhood, and he'll come back. Or he's a shape-shifting motherfucker and he is somewhere. And my wish is, Spirit, that either he comes home or he reappears in this room before she gets home from school because I don't know what's going on here. I am not kidding, Lindsay. Like clockwork, right around 3:45, he starts meowing and pacing by the door in her room. I didn't touch the door. I didn't do anything. And right before she got home from school, meow,
I love it.
meow, meow. I was
Bring
like,
your ass back. I don't care where you went.
right? I don't
Back.
care where you are right now, but you need to be back before she gets home from school because she will be beyond upset, like devastated. So get your fuzzy little ass back here. Like, and he did right on time. Cause I was like, he is not in there. So she goes, well, he goes underneath my blankets. And I was like, I didn't look under your blanket. She goes, yeah, he hides underneath there. But like, I was like calling him and usually he'd be like, meow. No, he was not in there. He was not in there.
Busy.
He was busy. Yeah, he was busy somewhere else, which was fine. Just as long as your fuzzy little ass is back here by the time your boss gets back. Like, I'm not playing with you.
No, the few dreams I've had of him like helping me, protecting me in them, but the one where I woke up and because the dream I had was we were in the room, my bedroom that we were actually in. It,
Uh-huh.
so you remember, don't you? He's looking at me.
He's like, I was there.
Let me get you a treat. Hold on a second. Um, but so it was in that same bedroom, set up same, exact same. And when I woke up from the dream, because something, just make it real short, there was like a big black smoke presence in the corner that was like trying to attack me. And
Mhm.
was barking at it in the dream and heavily, like, get away, and we both woke up and we both looked in the same corner of my room at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Right.
fucking creepy, dude.
Yeah. That happened with me and Kiwi and Badu the other day because we were just sitting in the room and stuff like that and like all three of us like whoop, right into the corner and like and it was just at the same time because we all saw something out of the corner of our eye, and we're like, "Mm." And Badu is like she's the one that will get up and like start investigating and stuff because Kiwi's like, I don't think so. But she's Badu's the curious one. And she comes out and she's like, oh, let me see what that is. But she always stands on my chest to see where it is. It's so interesting. Like she'll come up and then she like looks around. I'm like, oh, are you surveying my environment for me? She's so cute.
That's funny.
But I've got it to where now she has spent so much time with the two dogs that now I can let her out in the backyard with them and she stays in the backyard. And then when I call them back in, she goes inside with them. So it's given her a little bit more space. And so I let her out a little while ago and she was exploring around. So it was good. She had fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. Like I said, I didn't mean for all of that to come out, but it kind of feels like it should have. And it feels very calm right now and very like peaceful. So I appreciate you sharing and gave us space to share fun stories and know that he's going to be just fine. He's just not going to be fuzzy in here. I
Bye
know.
bye. Oh,
I know. Well, I already know about what your future plan is, your next step, and I'm excited about that. So we can save that as a surprise for later on down the road. But I'm excited about that. Like, I think that'll be a lot of fun for you too.
It will, and it'll, yeah. And I know there's some surprise shifts gonna happen too that I'm inkling about, but I'm not exactly sure about. That I'm interested to see how things unfold after this shift because that's
Right.
a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And even for the shoulder pain I've been having because that's holding on. That's
Yep.
that. So
Yep. It's letting go of all of that stuff. And that's exactly what I'm working on right now too. And, even earlier today when I was recording for my podcast with my sister, like I brought out my journal. I was like, I was just writing about this. Hold on, and so I, weaved it in there and she was like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, these are all the things that huh?
who's behind you? The cat.
Oh, that's Melly. That's my
Oh,
daughter's cat. Hi, Melly. Mama.
I didn't mean to cut you off. It was just
Oh, no,
crazy.
you're fine.
Popped
Yeah.
up, popped up there.
Yeah,
But
that's Melly. That's the tuxedo kitty. She's a brat though. I think all tuxedo kitties think that they're the only cat in the world or should be. And like she hisses at everybody. She does not she tolerates us humans but she loves my daughter. Like she's very loyal to my daughter. But anybody else like if she will hiss and like bat at you, like she's just like don't just get away from me.
okay,
I
okay.
get cute little moments with her here and there. I've taken some cute pictures of her and sent them to my daughter and she's like, "Oh, look at her being so cute." I'm like, "Yeah, right now." But
Yeah.
but but yeah, there's a lot of good changes coming and shifts and stuff like that. And I'm excited too. It's so funny because I feel like we keep saying that, but we can't really talk about what they are until they happen. Because I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to, I just want to keep it. But I wanted to know, do you want me to share my little video that I shared with you the other night on our shorts? The recording that I woke up to?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Right. That was crazy.
It was so crazy. I showed Jenny and she was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm telling you." And then I shared it with my friend Kyle and he was like he's very skeptical. Let me tell you that. He is so skeptical. Everything has like, "Oh, but yeah, it's this or that or whatever." And I love him to death. And he's like I think our relationship has been
Oh, maybe.
just as long as your and my relationship and I think I'm his he's like a brother to me and but I counsel him all the time. I coach him all the time. But he's so much fun too. So it's not like that. It's not like that. Like I love him dearly. But he's very skeptical and stuff like that. And I've been talking to him about our stuff and I've been sending him the videos and stuff. And so when I started talking about it, he looked like he thought I was crazy. But then I sent him the video and he was like, "Bro, like that's crazy." I'm like, "I know, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to get into treats. So I'll post that today. I'll post that later today and see what our listeners think or the collective thinks on that video. And I'll do it as a short. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah, that'll be fun.
You want to say something?
He's like, "Where's the treats?" I thought you had more treats.
We had a banana.
Ooh.
Had a giant ass pup cup last night, huh? Mommy been eating ice
Yeah.
cream too? Yes. Oh, little bug. Well. Oh, you missed one. You're so
Oh,
sloppy.
that's what he was looking for. He's like, "Oh, there it is. I knew I smelled something."
I know. Ugh. Okay. But
All right. Well, what does this upcoming week? You're traveling a little bit next weekend, right? For a
yeah.
couple of days?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
I leave on the 22nd.
Yeah.
I keep getting it wrong. I think it's 22nd, Saturday.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I'll be gone till the 28th. So,
Nice.
um, And then I do have my, which, not surprising at all. A couple decks I brought out for today are my animal decks.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I love that. And then I'll do one from we can do the two. We'll do the Mystic Sisters and the Witch too. So
Okay. Yeah, I like those.
I do too. I like the tarot one too. It was on point. So, what can you say about that?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what was really cute though? My daughter came up to me today and she was like asking because we've been talking about a lot of this stuff. We've been spending a lot of like little 30-minute intervals together. And so like she'll come in and or I'll be outside or doing something in the kitchen or whatever. And she'll come over and we'll just talk for like a half an hour or so. And today it was about channeling and manifesting positive things and stuff like that. And so I was helping her like however you do it, it's your journey, it's your process. There's no book that says this is exactly how you do it. And if you don't do it this way, it's not going to work. So it's about the energy you put into it. And it's about, the time you spend with it and where you're at with it personally. And so, we talked about journaling and stuff like that. So she's going to start like doing like a manifestation journal and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, cool. So it was really cute that we were talking about that today. It was cute.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get her on here manifesting some stuff down the road.
Or just having her chat about some stuff. That'd be
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
The perspective of that age is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and because specifically, it's about a boy. And so, but what I said, because she actually did something for Valentine's Day for a boy that she had a crush on, and it did not have the results that she thought it would.
Uh-huh.
And she was very honest. It wasn't outlandish or anything like that, but it made her realize that you got to roll with the punches. Because I even told her, I was like, give him time to respond. If he does respond, you know, read his body language, kind of just pay attention to his energy and stuff. And she's like, yeah, I don't think he's interested. He hasn't been really doing the things he was doing before and blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, you got to remember, you're both 14. And so, he's young too. And then she's like, yeah, I'm kind of just over it. I'm like, okay, good. Perfect. That's the response I want you to have. I don't want you crying in your bed because you think you're ugly now because this boy won't talk to you and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not about that. So now already she's like, so there's this other dude that I kind of have I was like, exactly. Exactly. So, but she's so smart. She's so smart. She's like, I feel like when I talk about stuff, it doesn't happen and like it kind of jinxes it and stuff. So she's like, I really like keeping things to myself. And I'm like, good girl, because that's how you do it. I said, it took me so long to learn that. So
What
long.
did you say? Go forth and tell no one.
Yeah. Well, and it's like that me and my ADHD, one of the defaults of ADHD is oversharing and blah, 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 blah. Like it
I
just,
do it really bad. Yeah.
oh,
I don't think I do anymore at all. But I used to.
I still do. I still do. Like this is a recent like realization that like but you and it's not bad stuff. It's not like that. It's just like
No,
just too much.
yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, because every time that it's something that is positive, because here's the thing what I've learned is like, especially if it's something positive or you're working on it and blah, 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 like it instantly turns into a negative thing because now people are expecting it from you. And it's like, like I wanted my own time and so I learned that like just do it on your own and then come with the offering or whatever it is. It may not be 100% done. Get it 80% to where you are not going to take any flack or take it personally if they have any feedback because you've gotten to that point and now they can add to it or whatever the
Well,
case may be.
yeah, and it's also them just it could be
But
them jealous because you're doing something and they're not, and they'll put their negativity
100%.
or
Yeah,
some
but negative. Oh, let's
do
see that
that.
bitch do that. Oh, she thinks she's so special because all it takes is that negative energy to do
Exactly.
it. And
If you don't feel like that yourself, it doesn't matter. Then you got to go do a fucking protection spell on the shit because
yep,
somebody threw that shit your way. So
exactly,
deal with it.
exactly.
shut the fuck up and keep it to yourself.
Exactly. Well, you know what's funny is like so that took me a while longer to learn in the like professional world and working on projects and sharing what you're doing, and people steal stuff all the time. And I mean it even happened recently from somebody, like my stuff got stolen from me, and it's just like they're all around the place, they're all around the corners, you know, you never know where somebody's waiting to take advantage.
Yeah.
But I learned this a long time ago in romantic relationships. I had two friends, and uh we hung out all the time and stuff like that. And there's this one guy that like for, you know, for a while we had this thing going, and it was really just we just liked hanging out with each other. We got each other like that, you know. And so it was like we'd never stop talking ever, you know, and we'd always talk or whatever. And but when we were kind of seeing each other, like he came to me, or we were hanging out one time, and he was like, "You need to watch what you tell your girls about." And I was like, "What? Why?" And I was very young at this time. I was, you know, 20s. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, your girl has been hitting me up, you know, because it was a small network of people over there. So everybody kind of knew everybody. And I mean, like once I started bringing you in there, you started seeing that too. It's like, okay, you know who's going to be where on what day and stuff like that. And you just kind of start seeing that thing. But, and I'm like, he's like, she's been hitting me up. You've been must have been telling her how fun, you know, and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh wow, okay. And so I learned, you
Yeah.
know, like now, you know, people will ask you like, what is it, you know, what are they like? Blah. I don't know. I know nothing. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm not
Same.
telling you anything. I know nothing. I haven't done anything. Like I'm not doing that with you because it's an opportunity for, you know, negativity.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's cool you could see how that person really was,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bro, why do you think I'm by myself all the fucking time, dude? I don't play that shit. And I'm not like that
Yeah.
with people, and other people damn sure better not be like that with me, because bet I
That's
will
why I don't have a lot of friends like that.
and
Like
I
why
out.
run
And
in the streets and shit.
I don't even, these people don't even know I know. I just be knowing shit. I don't gotta tell you I know what the fuck you're doing. I know what's up, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just let you,
Because the
okay.
truth doesn't change, lies do. And they change real quick and adjust to whatever you need them to work for you in what way. So it doesn't take nothing but a little bit of time to figure shit out.
Yeah.
But yeah, craziness.
Yeah. That's, I know what you mean though. Keep it to yourself. Anything, even like people that win the lottery and they tell it. I'm like, I'd be out there with a mask on, bro. Like, hell
Oh,
no.
I would be anonymous like a motherfucker. I'll
Yeah,
pay extra
yeah,
taxes to be anonymous as a motherfucker.
yeah,
Nobody say shit.
yeah,
Nobody look this up. Don't, you know, like I don't want anybody to know, because you know what I would do with my money is give most of it away.
yeah,
I would start like not like making it rain, but like the things that I really believe in and that I know that will set my future up and my kids' future up, that's what I'm going to spend money in. And it's going to be getting some land so we can. I
yeah,
was just talking to Jocelyn yesterday. What up, Jocelyn? So my girl Joz, she used to work at the same company that we worked at Club Tattoo, and she was counter support and stuff like that. And she's amazing. She worked there like through college at ASU, but I think it mostly at Rural and stuff like that. But anyways, we were talking, and the same shit's coming up for her right now too. And I was like, "Bitch, I knew it." I was like, "I knew it," because she's like part of my soul tribe. Like it, so much time has passed, and it was like we were right back there where we were last time we saw each other, you know, like it was so awesome. And we have little inside jokes and little different things that we've been I forgot about something. I was like, oh shit, that did happen. And we just started dying. I was like, oh my God, I forgot you were there for that. And so, anyways, she's gonna have to come on this because you'll absolutely love her too. And everything is like lining up in the same ways. It's so crazy. It's just so crazy.
yeah,
Oh, but Jenny, so Jenny, so we were talking about manifesting, and then I'll wrap up and we can do the cards. But so it's about a bully, right? So what I told her is, she goes, but I don't. She goes, She goes, I don't like having crushes on more than one boy at a time because she feels guilty, right? I said, so then you change what you're manifesting. Don't manifest it with one particular person, manifest it in general. I would love to have a boy that liked me in this way and blah, 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 and just leave it general. And then whoever that boy is, spirit will push towards you in that way. And she was like, oh, I said, so don't be specific because it may not be him. And you're
Yeah.
going to be disappointed every time because you're picking them out. Don't pick it, ask for what you want.
Yeah.
She was like, okay. So I just wanted to add that in there that I didn't go, all right, go write that boy's name down and blah, blah, blah. And she doesn't want to do spells. She doesn't want to do anything like that. And I'm like, I'm right there with you. We don't need that stuff.
Oh, because
Yeah.
I don't forced or no.
No, yeah, exactly. And I don't, yeah, I don't believe I don't believe in that method. Let me just say that. I'm
I don't.
not saying it doesn't work. I'm just
Right.
saying I don't believe in that method.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and
don't
so
either.
she's like, yeah, and she's the feels the same way. So I see her, she might be a regular little guest on here because she's like really getting into it. So I love it. It gives us something to play with together.
Yeah, that's really neat. I like that. Yeah, it's funny because my one of the decks I got out is I think it's my first deck my mom that I ever got. My mom got it for me. I think I was 14.
Oh, really? Oh, I need to get her a duck. And that would be a good one, is an animal one for sure. Yes. I love it. Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll see what they got to say. And then shit, the other one I've had for almost just as long. The freaking pages are falling out of the book and shit. Like if
Oh,
I
wow.
fly out of there,
I
yeah.
love it.
So
But that's all good energy in there, and yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, when I realize how long I've had stuff, because I'm pretty good at taking care of things, you know what I mean? Like I'm not one of those people that loses a lighter. Like I'll have that bitch till it's gone. Like
Right. I've had this thing forever, this pickle
yeah,
lighter. Like
I love pickle lighters.
I know. Who wouldn't?
But yeah, so I have these cards. Like I have Barbies from when I was fucking a little in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like I have my sports cards pristine. Like I got all my shit. So it's weird when I think because I even have. I'm pretty sure in my storage in Ohio still. I gotta get the rest of everything out. But I have. I think I have a book bag in there from when I was younger. It has like drawings in there from when I was little, and
Oh, I love that.
school, elementary school, and shit like that. So
I love that stuff. Well, real quick, we've been, cleaning up everything and packing and stuff like that. And Jenny, when she was in kindergarten, they did every spring they did like some big fair, like an art fair or a science fair or whatever, and each grade had to present their entries and stuff like that. So she was in kindergarten and they did an art fair. She won first and second place for her class, and then she won best of show with her third piece for the entire school. I was like, what the fuck?
and
And so I have them framed. I have the best of show and the first place one framed. She didn't want me to do anything with the other one, but and one's a big beetle, and then the other one is this cool little bird. It was her variation of Angry Bird, but it was so good at kindergarten. I'll have to bring it out. But I love that shit. Like I love bringing that, energy in. And I was discussing that with my daughter too because I have a bunch of artwork that my mom's done over the years. And I always hang it up and I'm like I was debating like is this bad energy? Is this good energy? Is this, like I don't know, but I really don't see it as bad. I really like that's like one of the best parts of my mom is like the artwork that she does and stuff like that. So I just really because I like it, I like it. It's fun, it's different, and it's always ask about it, And so I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep it. I think it's good, I see it as good, and I don't, I'm not mad about it, So yeah, like
yeah, if it give you that feeling,
there's a hummingbird hovering.
I saw the hummingbird in here as I was flipping through the
Oh
books.
yeah, it's like
Oh, heard it.
yeah.
Oh
Do you hear it? It's
no,
that real faint. It's that real. Oh, there it goes. Did you hear that? It was like, it sounded like the Jetsons car. It'll pick up. I'm pretty sure it was there.
I heard it once, but
It's like totally chilling over here, so it's
dude,
gonna come back by.
I gotta get my shit hummingbird attractee and more butter. I'm gonna have all the butterflies. Look, it's gonna be a freaking Garden of Eden at my house. I'm telling you what, it's gonna be a
I
goddamn
love it.
paradise.
That's right. Oh, did you know? Do you know? Well, do you know why the bird of paradise plant is called the bird of paradise?
I don't think so.
It's called the bird of paradise because the flower, you know how it's like this and the flower comes up? It's actually a hummingbird drinking, and those are the wings from the hummingbird. So if you look at the way it goes, and then the stick is its mouth.
Yeah, wow.
So when you next time you see a bird of paradise, all you're going to see is a bunch of hummingbirds if it's in bloom because it looks exactly like a hummingbird getting nectar from a flower. It's so cool. All right, what are we asking? What are we talking about?
We've already said quite a lot of synchronistic animals already between
Okay.
the
Oh,
bird,
well, let's just
bird,
see what comes up.
yeah, and then what else did you say she drew?
The
The
bird, the beetle.
the beetle. Beetle's been coming up a lot. Scarab
Hmm.
beetle, beetles in general,
Yeah.
beetle cars.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right, we'll just ask for some advice. Let's see what we
Yeah,
need.
what animals are guiding us right now? What did they say? What did they say?
That's synchronistic. This one's kind of cool because this one doesn't come up very often. The wild boar.
Ooh.
Whatever tradition or others expect of you, only to yourself be true.
Ah, yes. I like that.
And I opened the fucking book to scare a beetle, bitch.
Ah,
I'll read that in a minute. But oh, wild boar's right before it. That's great. Jungle lore casts meaty wild boar as a banquet for others, but boar reverses the role of predator and prey, proving tradition wrong. If you allow society or individuals to dictate the part you play in life, constant friction between outer persona and inner desire will cause stress, deep unhappiness, and with time, coruscating resentment. If your role is a sham, then your relationships with others will also be false. Board counsels that you be true to yourself so that you may in turn be true to others. Been talking about this shit, guys, being authentic, taking your mask off, being your true self, standing up for yourself.
oh
Bro,
my God. This hits. This hits because there was a conversation for me that happened over the weekend right around this stuff. And in the moment, like I felt really good about standing up for myself and saying how I truly feel and what I really wanted because my old self would have been like, no, it's fine, let's just keep going and I'll suck it in and I'll put the mask on and stuff. And I just was like super honest and I was like, no, I'm ready to go home.
yeah,
I'm ready to
good.
go home right now.
Some very you too. And doesn't it feel so? What card we get the other day? Empowering.
Yep.
Does it feel
Yep.
so
Yep.
empowering?
Yep. And I mean, and things are fine. It was just like in that
But
moment, I had to be true to myself, and if I went anywhere else, I would be miserable, and I'm not going to do that. I
no,
won't be able to recover from the conversation the way I want to, and it's in public, and that was another thing that kind of repeated itself. This type of conversation happened again in public, and I had to really like process that. Like, I don't like that.
yeah,
I don't like that at all
yeah,
um, because that's not a conversation to be had in public, and being embarrassed is a very big trigger for me, and I think that's what like I was just like, you
no,
know, and then I had tears, and then I was like, I don't understand why this is going this way, blah blah blah, and that wasn't clicking, and so I was just like, okay, it's time to go, and then it was like, okay, where are we going to go next? And I'm like, I'm going home. Like I really need to like reset from this, like big
yeah.
time. So
Good, good.
yeah. But I was very proud of myself for doing that because normally, nah. my old self would be like, oh, it's fine. I'll just, no, I'm not doing that. I'm
No,
letting you know that I'm upset and
yeah,
I'm not happy right now. So I'm just going to go home, you know?
good,
And I was very proud of myself for doing that.
good. Yeah, that's a big ass step, dude. It's hard. And it even like when we get on autopilot for not being in the present moment, we automatically say okay to shit that's not okay all the time. And you're like,
Right.
you gotta fucking stop for a minute and be like, no, I don't like that. Or no,
Right.
I asked you to stop doing that. Or like the other day, I had someone close to me um wanted to have this conversation, and I said I probably won't have time till maybe Sunday or Monday.
Hmm.
They immediately called my phone, and I'm like,
No,
no, like
it's not on your terms at all the time. And I've had that happen.
first, but I was like, but I so that's a little step I did, but
Yeah.
back in the day, I would have been like, like
And
no,
just taking it.
exactly,
Yeah. And just, okay, you're right.
yeah,
Because the last time that happened to me and I asked for the space and whatever, it was like, well, what about me? I don't want that. I don't want that. So you're going to listen to this. And I'm like, do you really think you're going to get the best outcome by forcing it on?
yeah,
Like, that's not what we do here. That's not
no,
what we do here. So look at us bitches fucking standing up for ourselves,
because with that,
feeling
also,
our bosom. Let's go, girls.
but with that empowerment, also is repairing the relationship you have with yourself and your inner child,
Exactly.
because then
Yep.
you are standing up for yourself, number one, because you like a lot of us didn't really have that and maybe still don't, like we are the
Right.
only that. So once we do that, it starts to repair that relationship with yourself, and you
Mhm.
start to trust yourself, and so you'll have more trustful uh
Relationship with yourself.
that, but more experiences that are, that will start to reflect instead of
Right.
unworthy things, because
Right. And
that's
it's
lacking.
yeah, but
And
it's truly a test from spirit, the universe, everybody, because there's always going to be you have that will, and that's where, free will really comes into play because you are having that conversation with yourself and you're making the choice to do what has not worked for you in the past. And that's where everything is slowing yourself down. Like I was joking with my sister earlier. I was like, no, my whole big thing with myself is slowing myself down. I said, not only do I know I have ADHD now, but I know that my movements need to slow the fuck down too.
yeah,
So
yeah,
even going down that cellular to like the way I move, I need to slow down.
yeah. That's why, if a lot of you are clumsy, it's no, you're
It's
not.
not that.
Need to slow the fuck down, and you're
Yeah.
thinking ahead, or you're thinking about something that's not the present moment, and so you're knocking shit over and rushing through and whatever. No, slow
Yeah.
down.
Exactly. And that I was like, that's what all of this has made me do is really slow my ass down in the way that I move, the way that I think, the way that I speak, the way that I do everything, because that's what I've needed. And now that I know
Mm-hmm.
that I have this, chemical imbalance or whatever ADHD I have is what it's doing. But, now that I know that I have that, now I'm like, okay, I can regulate it now. Like I feel like I'm like I laugh at myself now and I'm like, bitch, you need to slow the fuck down. You knew that shit was going to fall all over the place. You even thought it before it happened and you still did it. And so
Man,
it's been funny to me because I'm like,
big
and I'm not
manifestation.
clumsy. I'm not clumsy. I need to slow the fuck down because I've always been clumsy, right? I'm known as the clumsy person. No, it's me. Shoo, pump the brakes. Pump the
And
brakes.
trying to do 40 things at fucking once.
Exactly. And if it hasn't taught me anything, it's that I need to slow down. So,
All right, we're gonna read Scarab Beetle because,
okay, just because it's popping up.
bro. Well, and I turned right to it, trying
Well,
to
that's a
find
synchronicity with my dad.
the Scarab Beetle is. Oh wow. What is unregarded or discarded holds a secret, a seed of creation. Armored shining jewel, Egypt's sacred symbol, scarab generates life from the waste of others. Look at what you discard or even despise, for within its form lie the germs of creation. For some, this may mean procreation, for others, artistic creation, as symbolized by the flowering of the seeds buried in scarab's ball of dung. Consider also those unregarded in the river of your life. One may be the catalyst for a new endeavor, another hold unguessed at knowledge, or even the secret that will unlock your heart. So part of that, what that's telling me is because, and we've talked about this before too, but about looking at the pain and really sitting with it and looking at the parts of yourself, if there are parts that you dislike. I'm to the part where I just love myself fully, all of it.
Mhm.
Even that
Mhm.
egotistical voice I got to tell to shut
Oh
up.
yeah.
That today, I love you, but no, we don't need that anymore. Like, we're good. Those parts, like pain is a doorway to go through. If you
Yeah.
can sit and face that shit and get through it and rise up from it, it's a doorway you go through to the next level. It is not a house that you go sit in. Then you
Right.
will be depressed. Then you will be no, no,
You
no.
write it down and then you put it away.
Let it go.
Yep. That's all I've been doing this whole week. It's so crazy.
What did you hear from that?
I want you to take a picture of it and send it to me because I heard a couple of different things.
Okay. Do you want right now?
No, later.
Okay,
Later.
hold on. I didn't know if it would mess up the
Yeah, you
or
can do it later, but read it again because there was a lot to it. Read it again. Hold on.
so
There's a plane.
every
There's a
time
plane. I can't hear you.
this, it's always been like this for me. I always have to sit with it for a second. But
Yeah.
I do feel like, well, I know since the last time I read it, I get it more. Even though I don't get it more, I get it more. So,
Yeah.
what is unregarded or discarded holds a secret, a seed of creation. Armored shining jewel, Egypt's sacred symbol, scarab generates life from the waste of others. Look at what you discard or even despise, for within its form lie the germs of creation. For some, this may mean procreation. For others, artistic creation as symbolized by the flowering of the seeds buried in scarab's ball of dung. Consider also those unregarded in the river of your life. One may be the catalyst for a new endeavor, another hold unguessed at knowledge, or even the secret that will unlock your heart. That's also telling me that, um, like, if there's anything, I think I was getting to this a minute ago, about yourself that you despise, or about anybody around you you despise, that still is a reflection of something within you. But look at it and acknowledge it and figure out the root of why that is. Where does that
Right.
come from for that? And I feel like, yeah, you'll find some beautiful things in that dung, in that ball of dung. If you climb into it, you'll be like, whoa. Like, either you'll
Right.
acknowledge where that feeling comes from and you'll be able to release it and you won't feel it anymore. And that could fuel you and inspire you to start creating something. Um, or it could even be about you being scared to create that something that you think is shit, that you think you're not good at, that
Right.
you think is not good enough. No, it is
Right.
that seed of creation in within that dung that you think
Right. And
shit.
that's why I needed to hear it again because I heard the but I was like, there's something in between that I'm missing. So um so there's a couple of synchronicities and stuff like that. So the scarab is that's a sign for my dad. That's definitely him because he had Scarab Industries was his company name that he had. And it was a really good company. It was a really good company. And even my uncle, like, who was not a fan of my dad, his younger brother, like, they were all in on this thing and some stuff happened and it didn't come to full fruition, but it was like a really good business plan. So that's a synchronicity with my dad. But then, it's like taking what's in that dung that they're rolling around, and seeing, what's in it, whatever. The podcast with my sister is dumpster diving with Janice and Jane, and the whole premise of it is taking, going through our own trash. We all have a sack of trash, head trash, I call it. The biases, the things that we hold on to that other people have told us, or society that we pull from society, our interpretation of how people think about us, all of that head trash, right? And we carry that around with us. And anytime we are challenged with something, we open that bag of trash and start remembering all the stupid stuff about us. And, you know, so we just start, you know, and we're like taking a fucking trash bath, you know, in all of our head trash. And so the whole premise of our podcast together is like, taking that trash, taking that trauma, taking that whatever it is, whether it's not even trauma at all, it's just stuff that you've seen in society and you tack on because we're women, or not the norm, you know, or whatever the case may be, or we are the norm and we just have society on us or whatever it is. And like being able to dig through that, find the root cause. Why does it trigger us? Why are we doing this? And then go make peace with it, write in that journal, whatever it is, you know, and get through that to where you can then take that trash and turn it into the fuel for your future and for your success. And that's what that is. It's like a generator. And we talk about parenting, we talk about all kinds of different stuff. But that's been my like thing my whole life is I've lived in this dumpster, you know, when I was in the realm of parents and stuff like that. I lived in this like world of biases and shortcomings and traumas and all this stuff, and it just got plastered onto us like armor, you know, and this is your pain too. And I truly feel like I am the generational curse breaker in my family.
Same.
I'm not doing this, and I knew this from a very young age. As soon as I started going, and I just wrote about this in my fucking journal, y'all, and it came up on the first call. Like I wrote about the moment, the time in my life where I realized that what I knew of being normal wasn't normal.
Right.
And it wasn't because I paid attention to the better clothes that people had or whatever. Do you hear all my crows? It wasn't that. I paid attention to how they talked about their family. I paid attention to how they interacted. You know, oh, my mom made my lunch for me. I never, you know, like it was, you know, like I noticed how people cared for them. And it made it very clear to me, like, this is different. And
Yeah.
not everybody is sad all the time, and not everybody is not
No,
taken care of, and not everybody is like this. Like, and I would see the parents come. We never did any of the school things. We never did, you know, like we never did all of that stuff. And then, you know, it didn't matter if we went to school or not, because half the time I find out later in life that we were being hidden from my dad because my mom was afraid of, you know, and there was fear and there was all these things, but we got lied to. And, you know, and it's just like, that's when I started realizing I have control, or at least I think other people have control, you know, or can manipulate their outcomes, because all I knew was fear, victimization, trauma, not going to ever do this, that, or whatever. You're going to go to hell, blah, 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 all the time. And then you go to school and it's like, not everybody's like that. Wait a minute. Wait a
yeah.
minute. You know, and that's when I started like really packing that on and paying attention even more, you know, and that's when I feel like I can consciously remember like putting shit together. You know, it was about second grade, like really realizing like, oh, okay, you know. So I have
Yeah.
that. I don't
Your
remember.
your video's slow again and kind of cutting in and out a little bit.
Uh,
Just
yeah, my signal's a little low right now. It'll come back. There's a lot of planes right now.
yeah.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, it's just you're lagged and blurry
Oh,
and
okay.
the sound is a little weird.
Okay.
But
Is it better now?
no.
Clear, 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 clear. I'll do what my friends do. Clear, clear, clear. Clear, 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 clear. Get out of here. We're
Well that's
talking.
well that's
Yeah,
clear.
go for it.
I'll read the other one. Hopefully it'll do its thing. Um but oh no, I didn't want to, sorry. I totally understand what you're saying. We've talked a little bit about some similarities in our childhood, but I remember even before like school age being like really, really young and looking at the adults around me like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I was already older than them at that
Right.
point. It was weird. So, yeah, I get it. So the other guy that came out was Tortoise, which a lot of turtles been coming up lately for the collective too. And he is about when changes are made for the sake of change itself, resist.
Okay.
Older than dinosaur, embodiment of ancient wisdom and living testament to the wonder of her form, unchanging tortoise plods on through time. Like tortoise, resist change for novelty's sake. Be true to your way of living, your partner, and your creativity, lest you destroy something more wonderful than you yet know. Tortoise also counsels constructing a mental carapace to protect yourself from the unjustified criticisms of others. For as tortoises' hatchlings emerge from their shells, perfect, you too were born flawless. Going back to, yeah, do your life the way you feel like you need to do it. Not to society,
Autonomy.
not to some video you watch, not to nothing, not to even what we're saying. Do it the way you feel like you need to be doing it. As long as you're
Right.
not anybody else and or yourself, do that shit, bro. I heard it.
Exactly.
Oh,
I'm right in the flight path, and Sundays we are busy. Lots of air traffic. When in August they have an air show, and it's usually on my weekend, my birthday weekend. So we have to leave the house because the Blue Angels do flybys and set off all the car alarms and shake the windows and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's insane.
I remember
So
that from
I
Michigan.
think say that again.
I remember that from Michigan. We used to go to the air shows up.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling like we should just do those cards. I like the whole animal theme, and I really like the messages from those. And we read 3. And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, because I have the other deck. I'm feeling a couple, 2 or 3 want to come out of here. So
Okay, let's do that one, and then I'm going to save mine for the next one because I think that we should alternate, oversaturate it, and I really like the theme because it totally matches with the call or the top, I should say.
yeah, man, your thing is not better yet. I'm trying to.
Oh. Here, let me try to turn on my Wi-Fi. See if that helps. Is that better?
That is better.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right, cool. We'll go with the Wi-Fi now. We got a toggle.
I guess.
It's technology. All I know is there better be fucking sound on this one because I will punch a computer in its face, punch my Wi-Fi in its face. I'm just kidding, Wi-Fi. Stay good. Stay good. I love you.
Hey, we have the manatee, dugong, accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. Well, that's definitely for me.
Ooh, me too. Holy moly. I love manatees, by the way. That's
Yeah,
like one of my spirit animals. I love fucking
pretty,
manatees.
pretty awesome, yeah.
Little sea cows.
I know, don't you just want to hug? Dude, Mouse is coming up so much. I have to read both of the books.
Mouse?
Yeah, it's literally came up. It's too much. So I'm gonna.
Okay. I had a dream about a mouse.
It's come up a lot.
Swear to God, I had a mice in my dream.
And this is page 70, manatee.
Okay.
There, there are times to fight for what you believe in and times to lay down your sword and surrender. If you or your family were in imminent danger, it would be quite natural to defend yourself by either fleeing or fighting, whether through action or words. Extreme situations may even require extreme measures. There are definitely wrongs to make right and situations where the spiritual warrior in you must take the lead. However, it's not the case here. What will work best for all concerned is for you to surrender and accept things as they are. Yield in order to overcome. Lay down your sword, not in defeat or in self sacrifice, but from a realization that this isn't the fight you want or need to engage in. As the saying goes, choose your battles. This is definitely not one to waste your time and energy on. Say the serenity prayer aloud. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Let go of your righteousness and your ego's need for control and find that peace of mind that you cherish, that you so cherish, and have available simply by choosing it. The manatee is also associated with gentleness, loving, childlike, friendliness, exploration, inquisitiveness, playfulness, nonviolence, calmness, fearlessness, innocence, acceptance, and surrender. So I
That's
feel
the
like that,
manatee.
Bubby. Yeah.
I feel like that too with the situation I have going on. So talk about that later.
Okay. Then we have the beautiful snow leopard. Take some time out of your usual life and spend it in solitude. Oh, Bubby. Mommy finna be super solitude.
Solitude.
I mean, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yep.
Oh, on page 111, nonetheless.
Ooh. Ah.
It can be difficult these days to spend time in solitude, to unplug, get off the electronic grid, and find a quiet place in or near nature. Yet it's important to do so at this time. Turn off the phone, computer, and television before you punch them. If only doesn't say it.
No, it did. It did say it.
It really does say that. Although you may feel a little anxious and restless when you first do so, these feelings will pass. Use the time for contemplation and meditation. It's not isolation, it's solitude. Solitude is a conscious and loving choice to be alone for a period of time, while isolation is a habitual and reflexive coping pattern to avoid discomfort and intimacy. If possible, take a full day by yourself and just do whatever you feel like doing. Whatever length of time you spend in solitude, be sure to write as often as you can in your journal. If you should feel guilty or anxious about the thought of doing this, or even while you're actually doing it, use your breath to help relax. As you, excuse me, as much as you possibly can during the period of alone time, remind yourself to breathe and relax. Whenever you notice your breathing becoming shallow, take 3 or 4 slow, deep breaths and watch how your tension and anxiety dissipate. Enjoy the feeling of having the sacred space of solitude surrounding you, and remember, you're never really alone. Associated with solitude, self-reliance, balance, silence, stealth, confidence, determination, perseverance, containment, sensitivity, intuition, reliability, mysterious, integration, and shamanism. 113. Yeah, I definitely need to unplug from my phone a little bit too, because
Yeah. I've
I've been
been
running
well,
on
I've
this.
been on my shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's making me feel better, but I know that I already know I've been needed. I call it quiet time. And I used to do it more when I was in Fort Lauderdale, because I didn't have a TV. Like, I didn't allow, you know what I mean? I was more strict, not strict, but you know what I mean, on stuff like that. So, which I've
Mhm.
been getting better at getting back into, but she's very right. Definitely need to unplug a bit
Yeah.
more. So,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because, and especially like this last week, I've been really focusing on doing videos and stuff like that. So that's a good, I mean, even though I do unplug, but like a full, like leave the phone in the car, kind of unplug at the beach. Yeah. But I don't even look at it. I just listen to music, which I really enjoy. That's happiness for my soul. So I think I might still do that, but I have my journal with me for sure.
well, and what I do too, if I do need, like, say my pictures on there, or I'm doing like, or I need my notes, to get out,
Mhm.
I put my shit on airplane mode so nobody can
There
reach
you
me.
go. Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and so you can download some songs to listen to on there, or there's a
Yeah.
fucking dope ass jazz radio station that I listen to here, and I just listen to the radio, and I have that
Yeah.
quiet too, and it's beautiful. So I'll be. That was just another confirmation for me, because I was gonna do that this week. Like, I'm feeling drained by the electronics too, but between him and getting ready for the everything and all of it. Like I was gonna, so I'm
That's
glad to.
so funny. Yeah. I was listening to jazz music yesterday.
I love
Like
jazz.
that's like my go-to for like just no singing, just instrumental and but upbeat, it doesn't have to be all slow and stuff and you can just like get that good energy. That's like
Yeah,
my go-to. I love it.
well,
Yeah.
jazz is pretty good. Sometimes
Mhm.
and as well in my car when I'm driving, but I'm still
Or
trying.
Afro beats. I like Afro beats in the car. Yeah.
Every once in a while, the jazz station, it'll have the words in the songs, and then I
Yeah.
get mad that way too, which is cool because I'll be like,
That's true. That's true because you
I
know
love.
what?
I've told
Yep.
you that there'll be a random on my front YouTube page some song, and it's like somebody's talking to me, and I'm like, dude,
Okay.
yeah, it's like
I
my friend
love it.
talking to me. Late.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now we have elk wapiti. Stand tall and maintain your dignity no matter what, and others will treat you with the respect that you deserve. These are all in line with
Oh, totally.
doing what you want, respecting yourself, trusting yourself, spending time with yourself, all of that. Page 45. Oh, the slings and arrows. When you're in a cycle of life where you have to struggle to avoid feelings of defeat and despair due to the circumstances pressing on you from all sides, you need to literally lift yourself up to your grandest upright posture. Keep your eyes looking straight ahead, breathe deeply and comfortably, pull your shoulders back, but not rigid, and plant your feet squarely on the ground. Not stiff and static, but relaxed and fluid, letting your movements be easy and graceful, even when you're standing still. Try slowing down and moving at 90% of your usual speed, keeping your attention in the present moment. Jeez, deja vu. Weird. Practice this for a few minutes a day and watch what happens. You'll make more of an impact on others and your environment when you're in your physical and psychic fullness, and your mood and sensitivities will shift accordingly. Standing tall, relaxed, and fully present, you're much more likely to command respect from others. This will help you profoundly in any situation, but particularly during the times when maintaining your self respect and dignity are the priorities. This isn't pride, but instead a physical expression of strength and power. Make these simple physical adjustments and observe how your thinking and your mood changes to become more congruent with your posture and demeanor. Also associated with stamina, agility, strength, unpredictability, majesty, respectfulness, nobility, confidence, courageousness, power, determination, sensitivity, assertiveness, and vitality. Yeah, I've had to learn that, like, stepping into, for one, it's weird. I step into my power and I'm more vulnerable at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yep.
it's like, I used to be very, like, I didn't want people looking at me when I went out in public, and I didn't want the attention, and I didn't, but I know how I look and I get it. It's not that I was mean, it just, I wasn't standing in my power.
And it
And
wasn't comfortable.
yeah, it was uncomfortable. So now, like, I make sure before I go into a situation, I'm like, okay, I know people are gonna look at me. I know they're gonna approach me. Have your glittery fucking energy about you, and it's always such a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Instead of me feeling like I'm trying to hide from everybody.
exactly. It's all about how you walk into the situation and how you show up.
So I'm gonna read, like I said, both the mouse because it's just crazy. On page 77. Thank you very much.
All right.
You're overlooking some important details, so pay closer attention to what's going on. I know the other one says this very similar, so I might not read that one exactly, but I'll check it out. Pay closer attention to other people's body language, how they move, their gestures, facial expressions, and general posture. When you focus not only on what individuals are saying, but also on their body language, you'll find that you have considerably more information that you can use to understand what they're really communicating. Her body language typically reveals far more about people than what they're verbally expressing. Sit back wherever there are people around and simply observe for a while. Look to see what others say, if what others say is congruent with their body language, and watch for any discrepancies. In other words, don't always take people at their word. Dude, I take fucking when I watch like the interrogations and the body like I have I have their little things they use for people, and I watch all that shit all
Oh,
the
I do too. Like, oh, they're fucking like, look at that shit, you know? Or the fake criers get me. Like, I'm like, how can you not squeeze out a tear if you know you're guilty? Like, but it's
yeah,
that it's that inner energy won't let them. You know,
yeah,
that's your soul letting out these little clues and tips and
yeah,
tricks and shit on you.
yeah.
For
Also,
sure.
pay closer attention to agreements and contracts right now. Take your time to completely understand any agreement, finding out as much as you can by asking questions and consulting friends and experts to get their advice. Be careful, however, not to get bogged down in too much detail. Walk the
Right.
fine line between scrutinizing a contract, verbal ones included, for an inordinate amount of time, thus remaining stuck in indecisiveness due to your need to be 100% certain that you've covered everything, and rushing into something impulsively and reflexively based on emotional appeal. Associated with caution, scrutiny, details, fertility, alertness, efficiency, thoughtfulness, determination, nitpicking, orderliness, fastidiousness, and abundance. Page 79. I'm pretty sure this mouse says the same thing. Um, but yeah, I always hate getting that card because I'm so, I know as you are too, attentive to detail, almost like too much so that I hate that card because I'm like, what, bro? Like I don't want to be, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I do that already. So I'm like, what am I missing? But it might not be that, at all. So give me
Yeah.
perspective on it because
But for me, it like it hit in a certain aspect of my life. But the line that jumped out at me was don't do it on your own, ask a friend about it. So that's what jumped out at me, and that's what I'm gonna do.
well, and this mouse is different. So I'm gonna read this one too, but I feel like, it always goes together. This mouse, be persistent and incisive, and all obstacles will be overcome. Mouse is tiny and gentle, but no shell is so hard that mouse cannot reach the delicious center within, and no obstacle so tough that it cannot be overcome. As your guide, she counsels persistence so you too may break through the barriers that block success. Vulnerable to many, mouse must scrutinize and look beyond the obvious to the pattern within and assess the hidden agenda of others. Emulate mouse, and your path through life will be safe indeed. Wow. Bro, there's some sneaky fuckers around, dude. I'm telling you.
Let me get this book out and tell you what I was writing about the other day.
Book, 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 book. I love animals. I love nature.
I do too. Where is it? Let's start with patterns. What has been the common thread with your bop, 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 bop? It's like romantic relationship. First impressions, 90 days in. How long did it last? How will it end? Or how did it end? Like work relationships, family dynamics, long-term friends, short-term friends. How deep are the relationships? Commitment level. Like, do you have a bunch of superficial friends? Do you have a bunch of deep friends and only a little? Do you like how many of these friends use you on a regular basis? How many friends of the, like how like make a chart. Fucking
Yeah,
make a chart. Because
yeah.
what we do is we make decisions based off of emotion and not the data. So you can bring that into a relationship if you need to analyze that shit and really look at the pros and cons, or however you want to put it. Like, some people are like, I don't like to say cons, so I say deltas. Whatever the fuck it is, the negative and the positive.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's
There's
talk
always
about all of those things
the
because
duality.
they balance each other out. Yeah. And
Right.
and the negative serves you in times and it doesn't serve you in times. So it's not about if you have negative things, it's bad. But how do you show up in different situations? What are the patterns? What
Yeah.
is going to happen? And so, and me having just being a natural puzzler and pattern watcher and all of those things, patterns jump out to me immediately. Like,
Yeah.
and this
Yeah.
is something that my daughter and I were talking about earlier today. She was like, well, how do you know that stuff, with certain things? And I said, look, as you get older and as you pay attention to things, certain things will become very apparent to you. And that's what you will rely your gut on and different
Yeah.
things. And that's what you're going to check, right?
Yeah.
I said, one of my things is one, human behavior, but two, patterns. And they go hand in hand. So I say I pay attention to patterns of behavior,
Yeah.
body language, all of those things. And plus, I'm a coach. And
Yeah.
then I also see the patterns in actions and feelings and all of those things too. So, anyways, it's just hilarious that it was like, look at the patterns. I'm like, no shit, bitch. I got you.
I'm looking. Oh, I'm looking. I'm really looking. Here, baby. Here, sweet lovies. Um, yeah, same. Like there's just I can freaking predict what people are gonna do and say. Like and it's so crazy. I'd be sitting here with myself, like, oh, this and this is
Hmm.
gonna happen, and then it does, and I'm like, well, you see? That was easy. All right,
Yep.
cool. And so and even the discernment too of like, I'm one of the things shifting is I feel that my person will be coming in soon, my love person, right?
Right.
Hold on 1 second. Hold please. Puppy break. Oh. Um, but part of that, no matter how excited I am for that and how whatever for that,
Hmm.
um, I am going to still, you know, discuss the details of it. Like, these are non-negotiables. These are, you know what I mean? I'm not just gonna go with it and go into it like, no, you got to show me and whatever it is,
Right.
it's so and see how the relationship goes. And I've been doing that lately, like you're saying, even with friendships and with certain things. And make sure no other dogs are out here. Um, Things like that too, because like I said, I'm not ignoring some intuition, some feelings I've had about certain things or people, stuff coming up, and not just going with the flow of accepting it because it's always been there or because it's supposedly you're my friend or my
Right.
this or my whoever you are to me.
Hmm.
The you know some of the energies and some of the actions aren't matching with that, so we're going to observe and pay attention and
Right.
see what's
Right.
going on and really just do what's best for us because it's
It's our energy that we have to protect.
exactly it's our
So,
job to protect ourselves and to stand up for ourselves and all of that.
hmm, yeah. And I'm definitely have gotten so much better at that. And that's what my daughter and I were talking about. I was like, you learn through your experiences and stuff, and then you realize like what your boundaries are and what they need to be because what you can and can't handle and everything else. So it's been a lot of fun talking to her about all of this stuff. So it's fun.
Yeah, that would be really cool when I get
Yeah.
a chance to talk to anybody in general, but older or younger is always fun to
Yeah.
see whatever, there's a correlation there or similar or, obviously even knowledge gained from both sides talking to
Hmm.
these people too.
Yeah. So I have a question. So this tattoo on your arm with the lady, is she blowing or is that just like smoke or
Smoke, yeah.
but I have a geisha blowing the same on my same arm.
You know who did that?
Who?
You know who did it? Look at the artwork.
Oh God. Who?
Chip. Come on now.
Oh yeah, Chip. Okay. So he didn't do mine, but
But
I swear to God, I'm gonna show this. Because
come
like
on, baby.
I have
Yeah, let me see. Because I might have noticed it before.
you see this shit?
Come on, baby. And that's your left arm, yeah.
I
Bro.
just noticed that. I'm like, this bitch has a fucking woman on her fucking right or left shoulder
Left.
blowing smoke just like mine.
And
Oh,
let and yeah, she's like kind of like a
she looks like Egyptian or something like that. Like kind of
she's
like,
well, she's like a gypsy. She's got her
oh,
gun
okay, yeah.
and it says no good deed goes unpunished.
There you go.
And yeah, dude, that's my gangster. Like she's got like the Tommy gun.
I see the tattoo on her hand and stuff like
Yeah,
that. I
she's
love
got a
that.
pistol. Like she's
Oh, hell
gypsy.
yeah. Okay.
Like she's got her fucking feather, bro. Like she's
I
dope.
love it.
And you know, Chip, like,
Oh, we
so
go all out with Chip. The
yeah.
last one he did on me was the portrait of my pineapple conure, Frida, as Frida Kahlo.
Dude,
And so she has like the little flower wreath, she has the little shawl with the
come
brooch
on,
on
baby.
it. She has the eyebrow and she's holding a pair of tweezers and like giving you a dirty look. It's so amazing.
Dude, that's the best shit ever.
I know, I know. I love it. So, well, friend, do you want to wrap up and we can post this today and then
Oh.
and the rest?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I got some other things I got to take care of today too. And,
Yeah.
in my grief and slacking and just kind of, but it's okay. I'm allowed to be. And
Yeah. And I need to do some, yeah, I need to do some focusing today and stuff. I have some YouTube stuff I need to readjust for my podcast and stuff. But yeah.
yeah, so
All right, friends. Well, I'm just gonna stop the recording, but so we can sign off. So share, like, comment, all the things on our stuff, and we love you guys, and we'll see you soon.
yeah, bye.
All right. Bye. In a second. Bye.